Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the story of Robin Hood and his merry men. It's it kind of loses the "and the merry men" thing in the title here, but once you dig into it, yeah, it's there. Anyway, this is a 1952 film from Walt Disney, and it's an hour and 23 minutes long. It's a good old fashioned family adventure. It's it's actually, I've seen there's plenty of Robin Hood stories out there. It's you have to have the same characters, the same concepts. Disney has an animated one on here that we'll see eventually, but it's I can't call this the original. Obviously, they've made some before this, not just Disney. It's different than what I'm used to, anyway. You know the standard story: robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. He's in love with Maid Marian. He's a rebel from the royalty in England, and he runs a subversive band of rebels who undermine everything the evil bad guys, evil royalty are doing. Well, that is exactly what this is, but it adds a certain layer that I don't see in any of the films. At least I don't recall anyway. There's a moment at the very beginning where the King Richard is goes off to the Crusades, and he takes all of his noble warrior men with him, leaving his brother Prince John in charge. And Prince John is given the task of getting a new sheriff to, maintain the local peace, and of course he chooses the Sheriff of Nottingham. Well, Prince John is pretty much power hungry, and he pretty much just wants to keep his job. If his brother never comes back from the war or from the Crusades, guess what? He doesn't really care that much. The Queen is still pretty much top dog. She's in charge, still in charge of everything, above everybody else. But it's Prince John making the decisions, and he's really more interested in creating a small army to tax the crap out of everybody and send these men out into the local community and just take what they need. It's not so much a matter of just having an army that he can pay, but the army is allowed to sort of pay themselves in the collection of the taxes. They feel that the person owes a cow. Well, we'll take two cows. It's the people are stretched thin because of this. They try to recruit an army of archers, and among the people that are invited to this competition, as archery competition, is Robin. I forget what his real last name is. I'm bad at that. But his real last name, him and his father. His father is a character that I don't remember seeing in previous films. Like, I'm probably for the very reason that you can imagine. Dad doesn't last too long in this film. I'm not really spoiling anything, but it's that mentor who's the one who the hero treasures has to die, has to be the sacrifice in a sense, in order for him to step up and become the hero he's supposed to be. Well, Robin Hood's a great archer. He kicks everybody's butt in the competition, especially all of the sheriff's men that were competing, or men that are loyal to the sheriff and willing to become part of this military tax collection crew. The only person who can outdo Robin is his dad. His dad splits his arrow right in half, and of course on the way back, people don't seem to like that. Back on the way back home, guess what? Dad gets shot in the back, and that sends Robin on a run from the law. Well, he gets revenge immediately against the guy who shot him by shooting that guy that shot his dad with an arrow, and now he's on the run from the law, even though he was doing it to as self-defense, because the guy was ready to shoot Robin as well. Anyway, that pretty much sets Robin on his path of being the rebel and stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. And the thing is, it's not a mystery as to who he is. That's another thing. In other stories, the identity of this mysterious Robin Hood is always hidden. He's like a Batman figure. Just change. He puts on a cowl or a mask, or people just don't get a look at him really clearly. And he's the rebel. Meanwhile, his other identity is not associated with his rebel identity. In this case, everybody knows who he is, and they've made up a story as to why his father died. They said his father was did something illegal. I can't remember exactly what crime he committed, but they made it sound like his dad deserved to be killed. Yeah, it sounds really familiar. It's all white people in this town. In England at this point. Anyway, Robin goes through the whole paces, and they move pretty quickly through this story, setting up at least all the motives for all the characters and everything else. It seems, years pass. There's little jumps here and there, but this really strange thing is that after all the main characters are established, that's when Robin goes out, and he has a generic band of people who support him, like there's no names, that are just part of the community, who are also archers, and stand by his side. But then we spend a chunk of the movie where he's meeting Friar Tuck, where he's meeting Little John, things like that. So it's those encounters that are really fun, just to see their origin. Everybody sort of has an origin established in this, and it's not just these things are all done in other movies as well, but it's really well done here, and it's often very humorous. There's some great action, especially when he battles Little John, who is obviously not so little. He's a big guy, but the merry men live up to their name. They're really merry. They're really they look like they're having a good time. And while a lot of people, the rumor has been spread out that they're all very dangerous and they're very you don't want to run across them in the woods. They'll kill you. They do look menacing at times. They put on this face, and it looks like they're threatening. And of course, they're a threat to the rich because they're going to rob them. But they've not really harmed anybody in the process of doing this. They just steal, and in order to save the people in the neighborhood from the taxation that they received, the unjust taxation they received. The funny thing is, when they run into different people, they often can't keep up their facade. They bust out laughing. There's a moment where they run up against a man who looks poor, but he hides it well. He hides his wealth pretty well inside of a satchel full of flour. There's also the minstrel, one of my favorite characters. He's I don't want to say it's a trope, but this character is used in a lot of things. And also, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's really originated here or not, again, because I haven't seen any really older Robin Hood stories, and I'm sure this stuff has also existed on the radio. This is an RKO Radio's motion picture presentation. So, yeah, we're still in that weird little shift when we're moving from radio as a predominant form of media to television, to radio to film, eventually then to television. But in this case, it's I haven't seen in a lot of the older stuff, but the minstrel is one of those characters that sort of exists in the film and sort of out of it, because he seems to know everything, and he sings openly about certain character motivations, their locations, their identities, out loud to anybody who can hear, which just seems like he's telling us, like, this is how things are going, this is how things are bad. And yeah, from there you kind of get the idea that he's a narrative tool as much as a character in the film. And he's I gotta say his name, he is just freaking awesome. Elton Hayes, and he's an icon, goes way back. There's a lot of people in this whose names I don't know. I mean, Robin Hood is Richard Todd, and Joan Rice plays Maid Marian. Peter Finch plays the Sheriff of Nottingham, and they look familiar, but I'm not I'm not up on every single classic actor, but they're all so great. Everybody plays their roles, and it brings a smile to your face just to watch this film happen. I know it's weird to say that this is as enjoyable as it is, but it is. It's really super fun. I don't want to oversell this, but I had a dumb grin on my face pretty much the whole time watching it, because it has little moments of joy and humor and everything else mixed in with, there's political commentary in a sense, there's drama, there's action, a lot of the stuff, the practical fights and falls are all real. They don't have CGI, and it's even some of the special effects that they do have, the visual effects of like putting a castle on a hill. It's a painting, but it looks really well composited and put together. So it's for its time, this is really well done. It's just, to me, you forget that this thing is 60 years old, 70 years old. It's almost 70 years old. It's amazing, and it looks great. It's in full color, even though it looks sort of washed out here. But yeah, it's the the minstrel songs, like I said, really good. There's no other music. There's not no singing and dancing. There's no things like that. It's not a musical, not a Disney style musical or anything else. But I say, honestly, if you've not seen this type of film, if you've not seen a Robin Hood story in so long, and again, we've seen, the last one had Mila Jovovich in it, and I forget who else. But yeah, there's so many iterations of Robin Hood. But let's go back to one of the old school ones and check it out, because it's just freaking fun. Yeah. I don't know how else I can put it. It's just fun. Yeah, it's fun. And let me guess, this thing has probably reset itself. Why don't I check these things beforehand? Oh, I'll tell you right now, I have some news that'll be coming in the next week. We're about a week away now from our 300th episode. And 300th episode, I'm going to have a little bit of news that you should pay attention to if you happen to be watching this one right now. For those of you watching this right now, you get the heads up. So watch for next Sunday's episode. It's our 300th episode. Some changes are coming. So, all right, let's pick. I think I've done talking about Robin Hood. Yeah. It's not a heavy watch. It's pure fun, and I think kids can enjoy it. It might be a little talky, or the language, as in the dialogue. There's no swearing at all, but the dialogue is a little bit archaic. They don't try to talk in modern speak. There's also I don't think there's these and thous, but it's still the archaic speak. It might be a little frustrating for smaller kids, but it's not hard to follow along. You're just going to watch it for the action and just the camaraderie. You want to have a bunch of guys like the Merrie Men on your team. It's just awesome. So anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 186. All right. I just checked this. Come on. It was fine a moment ago, and then it had to reset itself just now. 186. Oh, we already watched 186. Yeah, I thought so. There's a whole chunk here to be watched. 186 was Full Court Miracle. Yeah, we're not gonna watch that again. Let's pick another number. 187. No, come on. I don't even have to look, because I know we have 187. Oh, I'm gonna have to look just because This is a randomizer, not a consecutivizer. Jeez. And fun and fancy free. That was not too long ago. And yes, that sounds like a drill outside. You better randomize. Because if I get 188, I'm going to be really ticked off that you're not doing your job. 644, thank you. What are the odds are a randomizer would just pick the next consecutive number? Well, we've had 644 also. Let's see what that was. The Other Me. Wow, that was a little while ago. 188. More than 100 episodes ago. Oh, we're going to be doing this for a little while, maybe. 215. Well, that's why there's some changes coming. 215. Back in the 200s. Ah, you know what? Because we had 214. I thought that seemed familiar. We had 214 just a little while, just yesterday? Yesterday? A little while ago. Good grief. 214 was Gus, but we move into the H's with 215. And we've got Halloween Town. Yep. Halloween Town. Yeah, that's a sort of a cult classic Halloween movie. And you know what? I have not seen it. I know. It's for a lot of you that's sacrilege, but yeah, I just never really watched it. But we're gonna watch it now in preparation for Halloween. It's only a little more than 2 months away. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow with Halloween Town on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. See you then. Bye.